I'm going to pick a name from this bowl of names randomly, and the person whose name gets picked is going to receive a reading. And so if you want to participate in the next draw that we're going to have next month, you can join on my Patreon or on my website. So you can, if you are interested in that, you can check out the description below. But for today, let's see who the winner is. And it's Chelsea. Congratulations, Chelsea. We're going to get into your reading. It's going to be a simple past, present, future reading. Perhaps if I feel guided, we're going to draw some extra cards, but the basis of the reading is going to be the past, present, future reading, which is available on my website. If you guys want to book this reading with me, you can do so on the website. All right, Chelsea. Let's see your reading. The first card is going to represent your past. This is relevant past, so whatever elements or moments, memories, perhaps recent events of your past that are resonating with the present, that's what we're going to bring in the picture. And we're also going to ascertain the present moment's energy and move into the future. So what's the most immediate future energetic influence that is showing up for you? All right, so let's see it. And at this point, I want to say thank you to all of you who are watching, all of you who participated in this draw, all of you who have been my supporters for so long. And I hope that you will enjoy this video, even though it's for Chelsea. I hope you're going to find something in here for you as well. Okay, so Chelsea, let's get back to you. We have the Princess of Stones, which is the Page of Stones, the Page of Pentacles in your past, and it's called White Buffalo Woman in this deck, which is the Heindel Tarot, by the way. And the present moment is represented by the Prince or the Knight of Wands, which is depicted with the image of Krishna. And the future is alchemy. So that's temperance in the traditional tarot. This is more of an alternative system, or a little bit of an alternative take on the traditional tarot system, so it's a little bit different. But the point remains. We are looking to create a different future for you. So fortune telling is not a passive thing. It's not something that happens to you. It's something that you actively participate in. So your subconscious is opening up and you are becoming, you're getting in touch with your inner creator, and you are creating a different future for yourself than you would have had without the reading. So anyway, I can see that you have a lot of good things going for you, Chelsea. The Princess, or the Page of Pentacles in the past, is reminding you of a time, perhaps in your recent past, when you were a newbie, when you had a hard time figuring something out, when you had a hard time getting a handle on some things, especially practical things, because the Page of Pentacles is connected with the earth element. So think back to a time when you were perhaps struggling a little bit, getting expertise in something, perhaps learning some skill that requires good coordination of the mind and body, and where you had a beginner's mindset because you were a beginner. So all those times in your past when you were put in that position, having to acquire a skill, having to be in the position of the newbie, of the beginner, that's what the Page of Pentacles is about. Now the present moment, the Prince of Wands, or the Knight of Wands, is kind of a very different story, because with the Knight of Wands, you are already more secure and more confident, and you have a focus on action and what is possible, instead of receiving instructions or trying to acquire a skill. You're all about performance at this point in your life. And the Knight of Wands is especially interesting because it's the card that connects with reckless joy. So while the Page of Pentacles is very kind of careful and cautious, tiptoeing around a new thing that they are just barely getting acquainted with, the Knight of Wands can go wild and experimental with the same thing, and look for the outskirts of experience to try and discover and understand some rogue aspects of that same thing. So this is student versus explorer. There are different skill levels here. But the thing about the Knight of Wands is that although his confidence level is way higher, his knowledge is still closer to the Page's level of knowledge than to the level of knowledge that the King has, for example. The King is the highest level of expertise and mastery. So with the Knight of Wands, there's a little bit of an exaggerated sense of comfort and confidence that can spiral into dangerous behaviors, especially if you have, perhaps at your job or at your day-to-day life, if you have any situations where you need to remain cautious, where you cannot rely on your routine and you have to be alert and aware, the temptation might be very high to just wing it and to just go with the flow in the moment and be kind of negligent. I think the Knight of Wands here can suggest a little bit of negligence. Okay, when it comes to the future card, Alchemy, this is a really beautiful card. It's the Temperance card, and it's telling me that there's a cooling down period coming your way. So if you feel like really amped up in the moment and ready to take on the world, and perhaps you feel this kind of restless, aggro energy within you that the Knight of Wands represents, alchemy is suggesting that a period of integration of this energy is coming. So you will find that the seeming opposition between the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands is shrinking, and it's melting into a unity where your main focus and your main purpose with your life is to find balance instead of being a daredevil or being a sensory input seeker or being an adventurer. So you are kind of going up the mountain or this wave, and now you're coming down, and you're not coming down into obscurity or mediocrity. You're coming down into a sense of peace, a sense of inner peace and balance. So it's really beautiful. Now, I would like to draw one more card for you, Chelsea, to see what the cards are suggesting that you do. Some advice, some guidance moving forward. Oh, and we have a jumping card, or in this case, it's probably more accurate to say that it's a falling card because it has almost fallen out. The Emperor, another major arcana card, just like Temperance, but it has kind of a different mindset and perspective. The Emperor is all about being tough and disciplined and strict and having structure. So it goes against the laissez-faire mindset that Temperance would suggest here, and it's guiding you into really controlled, disciplined, and measured movement. So the Emperor is asking you to observe how these two polarities explained, how they melt into one another, but remain firm in your decisions to create order. Remain focused on generating a kind of life that has more structure, and be a little stricter with yourself, not in a mean or cruel sense, but in the sense that a good father would provide guidance for their sons and daughters in a kind of a stern but loving way. So you need to be that healthy father figure for yourself, and notice when you're going haywire, when you're losing your footing, because I think the Knight of Wands here is suggesting that things can get out of hand. There's a potential for things to get out of hand, and it would be nice if you could take charge at this point and prevent any unwanted consequences or unwanted new paths that would open up as a result of lack of self-control or lack of consideration that the Knight of Wands can be known for. So on a direct action level, the Emperor is asking you to do they have this phrase, run a tight ship or shop? I'm sorry, this just resurfaced or surfaced from my subconscious. English is of course not my first language, so I don't always know where these phrases are coming from and what the correct usage is. So running a tight ship, is that a thing? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you, Chelsea, enjoyed it. Thank you, all of you, for supporting me, for leaving comments, for checking out my website. And I hope to see you next week.